Even if you're unfamiliar with gangsta rap, you've probably heard of Marion Suge Knight, the notorious founder of Death Row Records. Knight allegedly used intimidation and violence to crush his rivals and construct an empire that has been compared to Motown in the early 1990s, when he dominated the rap business with his enormous personality and physique. Many of the musicians on his label, including Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac Shakur, were propelled to success by his controversial strategies. Knight's colorful criminal history demonstrates that crime has not always paid well. Over the years, he has been in and out of prison, and in 2006, a federal judge ordered that Death Row be taken over by a bankruptcy trustee, citing the founder's gross mismanagement. Knight is currently facing allegations that can land him in prison for life, but his most recent scandals are merely the tip of the iceberg. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at why rappers were really scared of Suge Knight. Yeah, you heard it right. He started out robbing rich kids. Knight was incarcerated in California's Mule Creek Maximum Security Prison in August 2001, which is when The Guardian met him for a very honest interview. The disgraced music mogul was reaching the conclusion of a 5-year sentence for an assault he committed the night of Tupac Shakur's murder. More on this in a moment, and he was in a reflective mood. Knight asserted that his negative reputation was unjustified. If I were 5 feet and 7 inches tall and weighed 150 pounds, they'd have labeled me a genius, he added. But because I'm over 300 pounds and 6 feet tall, they label me the most dangerous man in the recording industry. Knight did admit to having a violent background that began in his teenage years. He told a British journalist that he and his friends would take a bus to the upscale Hollywood Hills neighborhood and wait outside the schools for wealthy youngsters. When the children would come out, I would grab them, flip them over, and shake their money out. He explained, "They were an easy target. After a few years, I was stealing their bicycles. Nobody's ever spoken. Why would they? Those white mother effers were terrified of black men like myself. They believed that we were wild beasts." Did he dangle Vanilla Ice from a balcony? The Knight and Vanilla Ice mythology is a piece of rap music lore that may or may not have been expanded over time, depending on whichever version of events you believe. It all supposedly started with a guy named Mario Chocolate Johnson, who claimed to have written a number of tracks with Vanilla Ice, real name Robin Van Winkle, including his hit single, Ice Ice Baby. Johnson was being managed by Knight at the time in 1990, and when he found out about the contributions his client had made to Ice's music, Knight allegedly paid the young star a visit. Knight allegedly hanged Ice from the balcony of his hotel room until Ice decided to make amends with Johnson. Ultimately, Ice signed up for 25% of the royalties for a successful song. Ice has denied being dangled from a balcony, but has confessed to being intimidated into the bargain by Knight. "I went into my hotel room and Suge was in there with several people," Ice says in the documentary, "Welcome to Death Row. He let me know he wanted to get some points off the record Ice Ice Baby. Suge took me out on the balcony. He had me look over the edge, showing me how high I was up there. I needed to wear a diaper that day. I was an investor in Death Row Records with no return on my money." He founded Death Row with alleged drug money. During a 4-year period in the 1990s, Death Row Records dominated the rap genre with sales of over 18 million records and earnings in the neighborhood of $325 million. As I suggested, the royalties that Knight extorted from him may have helped create Death Row, but they were insufficient. Knight apparently approached a man named Michael Harris in order to begin the ball rolling. Harris was both the first African American to create a Broadway production and a notorious drug kingpin. Reportedly known on the streets as Harry O, Harris injected $1.5 million into Knight's budding record label and made Death Row a reality. Lydia Harris was able to manage Harris's affairs while he was in prison, serving a 28-year term for shooting a man and abandoning him to die in the desert. Lydia, the inspiration for Empire's Cookie Lion, was ultimately responsible for Death Row's demise, as her $107 million lawsuit forced the label into bankruptcy. He pistol whipped 2 rappers for disrespecting him. You could cover your walls with Knight's lengthy criminal record, which includes charges for domestic abuse, assault, armed robbery, drugs, murder, and this 1992 gem. Knight allegedly broke the terms of his probation by assaulting 2 aspiring rappers who disregarded him by using his studio telephone without permission. According to court documents obtained by the Los Angeles Times, Knight compelled George and Linwood Stanley to disrobe at gunpoint and then pistol whip them while firing a shot. Knight was indicted, but according to the brothers, a prosecutor forced them to accept a civil settlement that damaged the criminal case. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.